Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you again. We are today December 8th, 2021. My name is Roman Nuzaret. I am the CEO and co-founder of CCU.ai, listed under the ticker Sato, S-A-T-O. Today, we are going to talk about our Q3 results and financial update. Before I begin, the traditional disclaimer. Everything we say and everything we will present today contains forward-looking information. This is not a financial advice. For the agenda today, I will start by giving you an update of where CCU is currently and what we are striving at for the next step of the evolution of the company. Then we will have Kyle Appleby joining us, taking the floor to talk about our Q3 results in detail. Fanny Phillip, our VP Finance, will also continue talking about comparables. And at the end, we will take questions from you in order to answer anything that you have in mind. So where do we stand today? In the past few months, as you know, we have been listed on the stock market. It was a lot of work for all the team in the past months, but now it's behind us. And in Q3 of this year, we had our best quarter in history. We mined more Bitcoin, more Ethereum than ever. And we have seen extremely high growth, not only in revenue from digital assets that we were mining, more than 247%. And our gross profit also grew from more than 769% for the last quarter. Importantly enough, we are a no-debt company. Also during the quarter, we finalized a debt that we had for buying miners, so it's now behind us. And we can continue going and developing more on very stable financials. Where do we stand today in terms of the company? As we were explaining before into the filing statement and in the different press releases that we have made over the time, we are focusing on two things. First thing is our Center 1 in Joliet. We have a contract for the power of 20 megawatts, which equals 600 petahash of mining power. Out of this 600 petahash of mining power, we are running today 175 petahash. And we are building the remaining 12.5 megawatts so that we can host another around 400 petahash of mining power. We said in the filing statement that it will be done in 2022. You can imagine that we are doing everything we can and everything that is in our power to make sure that it will happen sooner than later. We will make regular updates as soon as we plug more power at scale. Today and lately, we have added 5 petahash of mining power with new generation miners we bought a few weeks ago. It's a non-material information, so we will announce more precisely when we grow bigger. An update on the construction work. You can see here on the screen some pictures of where we are for the 12.5 megawatts remaining. Everything is doing great. As you know from the filing statement, we have bought everything regarding the infrastructure, the transformer, the substation, the PDUs, the fans, everything is ordered, everything has started to be built, as you can see on the pictures. And we have good hope it will be finished in the first half of 2022 or even earlier. The goal for us to reach 600 petahash of mining power in our Center 1 in Joliet is a done deal. We have the space, we have the team, we have the knowledge, we have the experience. We've been doing this for the past 4 years. So now the question for us is, how can we focus even more on the next step of the evolution of the company? And how can we leapfrog to 10 exahash or even more of mining power in the next 15 to 24 months. That will mean 350 megawatt of power. This is the goal number 2 for the company. Goal 1, 600 petahash. It's on way. We are confident we will announce everything very soon. Goal 2, move to 10 exahash and reach around like 2% of the Bitcoin network very soon. So we will give you updates as soon as we have more petahash coming, being plugged into our facility in Center 1, and or when we develop new centers outside of our Center 1 in Joliet. A quick update on the capital structure. You can see on the left the number of shares that we have. We just wanted to give you an update on the change in equity with the exercise of warrants and stock option that happened in Q3 with some shareholders of the company, and we received an amount of 200 million and 300,000 Canadian dollars in cash in the company. So it's a good thing, and you will be able to see in the financial details what kind of impact it has on our treasury. I'm going to now let Kyle walk you through more details of the accounts for Q3, and then we will move with Fanny.
Thanks, Kyle? Romain. Thanks, Romain. Just first to note that in the numbers here, the 2018, 2019, and 2020 were audited numbers. 2021 Q1 to Q3 are unaudited. You can see our growth in revenues from 2018 to 2021, where we achieved record revenues of over 4 million, which was driven by the increase in mining power and the price of Bitcoin. The cost of revenues, which includes electricity, salary, and depreciation, led us to a positive gross profit of 55% in 2021 of over 2.2 million. And we had that benefit of a reduction in electricity costs given by the increase in scale and usage. Expenses are inclusive of mostly corporate and general, legal, audit, and general items in there. And we had non-recurring expenses in 2021 in Q3 at 673,000, which is representative of listing costs, cash listing costs to get listed on the exchange and complete our RTO. Other charges, as you can see in 2021, also increased quite a bit to 1.5 million, most of which are one-time non-recurring. We had about 1.5 million in a one-time listing costs, which represented the value of the shares that were issued on the RTO. As well, there was another about 635,000 gain on the settlement of debt. So those two one-time items were included here. And then we resulted in a net income in 2021, a net loss of 1.1 million, which again includes a number of one-time items and listing. And you'll see in a future slide, our adjusted EBITDA takes into those into account, which I'll go through soon. The next slide is our cash flow. You can see since 2018, we've been positive cash flow. Cash from operating activities increased to 812,000 in 2021. And again, mostly we had a lot of additional cost for the listing, which increased our cash use in operating activities. Investing activities, the usage of 2 million there in 2021 is illustrative of our infrastructure costs and miners. And as we grow, raise more money and advance our business plan, that number will increase as we do buy more miners and find new sites to develop. In financing activities in 2021, you can see cash provided over 4 million, which was the financings on the RTO and exercise of warrants. So in the end, we had an increase in cash of almost $1.5 million in 2021, which you can see is trending upwards positively. In the next slide is our EBITDA and adjusted EBITDA, which you can see also the improvement in adjusted EBITDA in 2021 of almost 1.4 million, which adjusted EBITDA for mostly the one-time items of the listing costs and other items that are not recurring. So we see from 2018 of a negative 223,000 all the way up to 1.4 million in 2021. Again, positive trending upwards. The next slide here, we can see on the left-hand side is our revenues broken down by year. And with the exception of the 2020 halving year, again, trending upwards in revenue and expectation finished the year off at approximately 6 million. The chart on the right shows the difference between the revenue in terms of our mining revenue and our hosting revenue. And as you can see, we primarily get our revenue from our self-mining, which is supported by hosting revenue for filling some of our excess electricity. On the next slide, we see again a graph here showing a trending upwards in our mining revenues, our hosting revenues, and our gross profit. The yellow being the mining revenues, the green hosting revenues, and blue gross profit. The next slide, we have our cash position at June 30th of almost 1.4 million, which was split between 24.2 cash and the balance in digital assets of 75.8%. At September 30th, with the close of the financing on the RTO and exercise of warrants, we had over $4.5 million, representing almost 38% in cash, and the balance is 62% in digital assets. I'll now pass it on to Fanny, and she'll talk about some of the comparables.
Hi, everyone. So the purpose of these two charts is to expose how CCU strategy is to HODL digital asset. So we have on the left the Bitcoin. As we can see, the yellow is the Bitcoin that we mine, and in the blue, the Bitcoin that we HODL over the 3 quarter, and the estimated for the last one, the Q4 of this year, 2021. On the right is the same thing for Ethereum. So as you know, we started to mine Ethereum beginning of 2021, and we continue, and we see that we HODL this Ethereum too. Here, we discussed the other time that we follow almost 15 other mining company. We are building a different way to compare these companies. So here it's based on the petahash that is running. So you can see that we took here 6 of the biggest mining company, either on TX6V or NASDAQ, and we have the market cap of each of them. If we do an average on this market cap based on their petahash running, we have 1,400,000 per petahash. And if we apply this number to the number of petahash running by CCU today, which is 175, we could have a valuation between 258 million to 263 million. And as of yesterday, the valuation was 44 million. So here again, it's all the data based on yesterday, so December 7 market closing price. And for each of the comparable, the peers, the data is from the information available. So either the financial or the press release. Then we have another way to look at the numbers and see that we are undervalued. It's when we look at the revenue ratio based on the market cap. Here we are in USD. So the purpose of this ratio is to express the number of times that the revenue have to be multiplied to obtain the market valuation. So if we take the same 6 companies, we did a median of this ratio, and we have 25.79. Today, CCU has a revenue ratio of 13. So we can see based on this ratio again that we are undervalued based on our revenue. Now we are looking more in detail on the operating cost to mine 1 Bitcoin. So we took the average cost, which is the number that we can find in the different financial statements of these companies. And we remove the depreciation and amortization. We divided this number by the number of Bitcoin mined, information that you can find in the financial statement too. And what we see, it's CCU in the Q3 to mine 1 Bitcoin. The total of the operating cost is 9,600 USD, and that put us on the second place. Now, if we do the same calculation for the cumulative, so since the beginning of 2021, so for the 3 quarters, we end up being on the 3rd place after Marathon and Riot, with an average cost to mine 1 Bitcoin of 12,200. So here we can see that we are very efficient operating our mine, and with the price that we have of electricity, it's very competitive to the others. Another way to compare the different mining company has been used by Anthony Power. You can see his Twitter below. So he's looking at the mining efficiency of the different companies. So we took his table with his calculation, and we did the same calculation for CCU to see where we end up. So with the calculation is to divide the hash rate by the number of Bitcoin mined in the month of October. So the less petahash it takes to mine Bitcoin, the more efficient you will be. So as we can see, CCU is ranked as the second. For sure, you could see that the total of hash rate that we have is smaller compared to the other. But the thing is that we want to be as much, we want to keep this efficiency for all the mine and for all the future growth for the company. So, so that's the purpose, to continue growing in this efficiency.
Thank you very much, Fanny. Thank you, Kyle, also. So the presentation really today was about showing you the excellent results that we had for our quarter: positive EBITDA, positive cash flow, exceptional revenue increase. What Fanny has showed you is that we are ultra effective in all the way and all the steps we mine Bitcoin. For us, it has been a priority since day one to be ultra effective in the way we manage our mining operation. We are still small today, but we are growing quickly. And once we will be even bigger, we will be able to show even better number. Bottom line, we are completely undervalued. Depending on every type of ratios we are looking at, again, multiple of revenues, petahash that are running today, petahash that are running in the future, efficiency. So the future is bright for CCU, and we will continue giving you some news very, very often in order for you to know what's going on with the company. We will now take questions and answers. So please go ahead.
All right, maybe Romain, the first one that came across is whether we would be listing in the United States. And I noted that we have filed and we are awaiting our listing. Can we provide more details beyond that at this time?
So yeah, we started looking at the procedure to get listed on the OTC. and we will give more information in the coming weeks as soon as we have a firm date as by which it could happen. But it's definitely something that we want to do. We want to be listed on the, have more access on the OTC market and the US market. Also, we will have more volume, I think, with this operation. So we will give more updates as soon as we have them.
All right. The second question is here: how many Bitcoins do we mine per week? Can I provide that?
Yes. So we announced that we made around 20 Bitcoin during the quarter. So if you divide 20, we have around 5 Bitcoin a week. It's still small. Our operations are growing, but still, it's about being efficient. We think in the market.
And how much do we buy in electricity?
So the price of electricity in Quebec, where we are in, only for the electricity is at 2.7 cents a kilowatt hour. But all in, including the transmission, the distribution, or even if in Quebec they call it differently, we pay around 4 cents a kilowatt hour, which is one of the best price you could find in the world for mining Bitcoin. You can always find cheaper electricity, Venezuela, for example. But if you want to be in a country that is stable, with an energy that is also one of the best energy in the world, in Quebec, 100% of our energy is renewable, and it's also a very stable energy. And it's very important to have stable energy if you want to be effective when you mine, because you don't want your miners to stop, and you don't want your miners to be dependent on any issues the grid could provide, mainly if it's solar or wind. With Hydro-Québec and the electricity we have from hydroelectricity, it's one of the best energy in the world at the best price possible.
All right. And then how much power do you need per Bitcoin?
US, sorry. It was US. It's a question that I see. It was the 4 cents US, not Canadian.
All right.
I might add something too. We present the HODL strategy, which is pure treasury for CCU, since we have not collateral any of the Bitcoin that we HODL.
All right. So if there aren't any more questions, just to let everybody know, give everyone one last chance here. If you don't know, you can scroll down to the bottom of your screen. There's a Q&A button, and you can shoot us your questions if you have any more for this session. All right. I think that's it. That's
good.
All right. Oh, one more.
One more.
What do you think will be a better plan to be a better valuation? Should I go ahead? I think that's just time, just as we beef everything up and get our name out there and reach new investors. And I think as we ramp up operations and get through to the public, I think that should definitely reflect the valuation and stock price.
And I would say it's about delivering. We are a company, we are delivering, we are doing our job. So we'll continue showing you that we can deliver what we announced.
And we have been mining since the beginning of 2018. So we know the process. So we just continue what we did for the past 4 years.
In bigger.
Yes.
All right. Great. And do you foresee any challenges for 2022?
Well, I think it's possible today I think it's, we see in the market rigs are available. Now it's a question of how much you're willing to pay for them, and when are they going to be delivered, and when are you going to be able to host them, or when are you going to be able to plug them. But miners are definitely available in the market, coming from China, coming from different kind of sources. We have ways to to buy miners directly to the manufacturers. We've been working with Bitmain since 2017. We have also ways to buy via resellers and or second markets. So we've been buying this way for the past 4 years, or we're continuing doing the same approach. And so far, we know how to source miners in order to sustain our goals. For 10 exahash, for reaching 10 exahash, as you can imagine, it's a more complicated issue. I mean, you need to buy way more miners. But again, it's about us. When can we be able to buy them and buying them in advance? So finding power, finding miners, it's not easy, but it's doable.
All right. Great. I think that's all our questions here. Yeah, I'll answer that one in person, but I think that's it for now. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and we look forward, hopefully you make it to our next webinar, and keep in touch.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.